There are two versions of you alive right now. One exists in reality, the other exists only in your imagination. The strange part is, the imaginary version already knows exactly what to do. Wake up before the alarm. Start the business. Walk into the gym. Say no when everyone expects yes. Leave the relationship that's draining you. Speak with confidence. Stop procrastinating. It already knows. So here's the question. Why is your life still controlled by the weaker version of you? Because knowledge has never transformed a human being. Identity has. And until the person you've been rehearsing every day finally dies, the person you're capable of becoming will never get the chance to exist. Think about your biggest dream. Now ask yourself one uncomfortable question. If someone else woke up tomorrow, with your exact opportunities, your exact education, your exact problems, would they build a better life than you? If your answer is yes, then your biggest obstacle isn't your circumstances, it's the person making your decisions. And today, we're going to expose that person. Here's something most people never realize. Nobody wakes up one morning and decides, I want to become average. It happens quietly, one excuse at a time, one compromise at a time, one postponed decision at a time, until one day, average doesn't feel like a temporary situation. It feels like your identity. That's how people spend 20 years saying, I'll start when I'm ready. I'll do it next month. I just need more confidence. But confidence was never missing. Evidence was. Imagine a young man who dreams of starting a YouTube channel. He spends weeks learning editing, months watching successful creators. He buys a better microphone, a better camera, a better laptop. Everything is ready. Except one thing. He never uploads. Why? Because deep down, there's a sentence running in his mind. What if people laugh at me? Notice something. His problem isn't YouTube. His problem isn't editing. His problem isn't even fear. His real problem is that his identity cannot survive being judged. So instead of risking embarrassment, he convinces himself he needs more preparation. Preparation becomes procrastination wearing a suit. And years later, someone with half his talent, but twice his courage, builds the life he once imagined. Not because they knew more, because they acted before they felt ready. Your brain has one job above almost everything else. Keep your world predictable, even if predictable means painful. That's why people stay in jobs they hate. Not because they love the job, because they know the pain. Starting over is unknown. The brain often prefers a familiar prison over unfamiliar freedom. Think about this. Why do people return to toxic relationships? Why does someone lose weight, only to gain it all back? Why do lottery winners often end up broke again? Different stories, same psychology. Their circumstances changed. Their identity didn't. And identity always tries to pull life back to what feels familiar. Imagine pouring clean water into a dirty glass. At first, the water looks different, but leave it there long enough, and it slowly takes on the taste of the glass. That's exactly what happens when new opportunities enter an old identity. A promotion, a business opportunity, a healthy relationship, more money. If your identity still whispers, I don't deserve this, you'll unconsciously find a way to lose it. Not because you're cursed, because your subconscious is trying to stay consistent. Consistency feels safer than growth. Most people think pain is life telling them to stop. Sometimes, it's life asking, how badly do you want this? Walk into any gym. The strongest person in the room isn't avoiding pain. They're choosing a pain that creates strength, instead of a comfort that creates weakness. Life gives you the same choice: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret, the pain of rejection or the pain of never trying, the pain of learning or the pain of staying replaceable. The truth is, you never escape pain. You only choose which pain will shape your future. Imagine yourself 10 years from today. Nothing catastrophic happened. You didn't lose everything. You simply kept delaying, kept waiting, kept saying, "One day." Now you're standing in front of the mirror, older, more tired, still explaining to yourself why life never changed. That moment won't hurt because you failed. It will hurt because you finally realize you could have become so much more. And that realization is heavier than failure itself. So maybe the question isn't, how do I avoid pain? Maybe the better question is, which pain is worth carrying? Because one pain builds your future. The other quietly buries it. But even if you choose the right pain, most people still don't change. Why? Because they're trying to build a new life with an old identity. And that's impossible. Imagine you own an old house. The walls are cracked. The foundation is weak. The roof leaks every time it rains. Now imagine painting the walls, buying expensive furniture, hanging beautiful pictures. From the outside, it looks better. But the foundation is still broken. That's exactly what most self-improvement looks like. People buy books, watch motivational videos, wake up at 5 a.m., meditate, journal. None of those things are bad. But if the person doing them still believes, "I'm not good enough, I'm always unlucky, success isn't for people like me," then every new habit is built on a broken foundation. Eventually, everything collapses. Not because the habits failed, because the identity underneath never changed. Here's something fascinating. Your subconscious doesn't believe what you say. It believes what you repeatedly do. If every morning you hit snooze, your subconscious isn't hearing, "I'm tired." It's hearing, "This is the kind of person I am." If you avoid difficult conversations, it doesn't hear, "I'm busy." It hears, "I avoid discomfort." Every repeated action becomes a vote. Not for your future, for your identity. That's why tiny decisions matter so much. People think, it's only one missed workout. It's only one lie. It's only one day of procrastination. Individually, they're almost meaningless. Repeated hundreds of times, they become your personality. Imagine two brothers. Both grow up in the same house, same parents, same problems, same opportunities. Years later, one becomes successful, the other stays trapped. People ask, what happened? The answer usually isn't intelligence or luck, it's interpretation. One brother looked at hardship and thought, "I have to become stronger." The other looked at the same hardship and thought, "Life is against me." The event was identical. The identity created from it wasn't. And identity determines direction, not circumstances. One of the biggest lies your mind tells you is this: "I'll do it when I feel confident." But confidence has never been the starting point. Think about learning to drive. The first day, your hands shake. You overthink every turn. Parking feels impossible. A year later, you're driving while talking, listening to music, barely thinking about the road. What changed? Not your potential, your identity. You stopped seeing yourself as someone learning to drive and started seeing yourself as a driver. Confidence arrived after the repetitions, not before them. The same rule applies to business, relationships, fitness, public speaking, everything. Action creates evidence. Evidence changes identity. Identity creates confidence. Never reverse that order. Your future changes the day your identity changes. But here's the mistake almost everyone makes. They think changing their identity requires a huge moment, a life-changing event, a perfect opportunity, a massive breakthrough. It doesn't. Identity rarely changes in one dramatic decision. It changes through repeated evidence, and that's actually good news. Because it means you don't have to become a completely different person tomorrow. You only have to become slightly different today. Let's do a simple experiment. Imagine you've believed for years, "I'm terrible at talking to people." Now imagine reading 10 books about confidence, watching 50 motivational videos, repeating affirmations every morning. Will that belief disappear? Probably not. Now imagine something different. Tomorrow, you start one conversation with a stranger. Nothing extraordinary, just a simple conversation. The next day, you do it again. A week later, again. After 50 conversations, your brain has a problem. It can no longer honestly say, "I'm someone who never talks to people," because reality has started arguing with the story, and reality always wins if you give it enough evidence. That's why action is so powerful. Not because it changes the world overnight, because it changes the story you tell yourself. Most people negotiate with life. They say, "Give me success, then I'll become disciplined. Give me money, then I'll think bigger. Give me confidence, then I'll take the risk." Life doesn't work that way. Life asks for proof first. It asks, can you behave like that person before you receive what that person has? That's the test. Not talent, not intelligence. Identity. Think about a business owner. Before anyone calls them successful, they already solve problems every day. Think about an athlete. Before anyone hands them a trophy, they're already training when nobody is watching. The reward doesn't create the identity. The identity attracts the reward. That's why chasing results without changing yourself feels exhausting. You're trying to harvest fruit from a tree you never planted. Here's a question that might change your life. If nobody knew your past, if nobody knew your failures, if even you forgot your old story, how would you behave tomorrow? Would you still hesitate before speaking? Would you still delay your goals? Would you still accept less than you deserve? Or have you been obeying a story that no longer deserves your loyalty? Don't misunderstand the title of this video. I'm not telling you to hate yourself. The mediocre version of you isn't evil. It protected you. It helped you survive rejection, failure, embarrassment, uncertainty. It did its job. But survival and greatness are not the same thing. The version of you that got you here cannot take you where you want to go. Every chapter of your life demands a different version of yourself. If you keep protecting yesterday's identity, tomorrow never gets a chance to exist. So don't fight your old self. Thank them, then leave them behind. One day, you'll wake up for the last time. Not tomorrow, maybe decades from now. You'll look back at your life, and in that moment, you won't remember every stressful Monday. You won't remember every social media post. You won't remember every excuse. You'll remember one thing, the person you became. That's what will matter. Not how many dreams you had, how many you had the courage to become. Because in the end, life doesn't ask, what did you want? It asks, who did you choose to become? Your destiny isn't hidden in tomorrow, it's repeated today. If this video changed the way you see yourself, then you're exactly why I created Daily Deep Psychology. Subscribe, not for motivation, but to build a mind that no longer needs it. Because when your identity changes, your future quietly follows.